Why, good evening. Happy Wednesday. I'm Reverend Rob Banaszak. I'm the pastor of the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C., and this is our Wednesday evening meditation. The time that we take a few moments to be relaxed, to be still, to receive a message from Spirit, and to then think about how we're going to apply that message from Spirit on the rest of our week. We use, of course, the deck of the Earth Magic cards to guide our message this week. Shuffle the cards. We'll draw a card that represents all of us, and then we will go deeply into a meditation to reflect on some of the words that we hear in the information about the card and how we feel about that information on the card. So let's get to it. It is already getting to be the mid of the month, which I can't believe it. But our fall is in high gear. So reflecting on the autumnal equinox a couple of weeks ago when we were clearing and we were getting ready and we were preparing for our winter season, where are we now? This is the time to check in of where are we now in that process? How prepared are we for the coming months? Have we purged what we've needed to purge? Have we renewed what we have needed to renew? And have we listened to those things, those messages, those guideposts that have indicated pretty clearly where we might want to think about going? So let's do it. Let's get a message from the Earth Magic cards. As always, you're going to watch me move the cards around, aka shuffle them. And then I always draw the top card. And the reason I draw the top card is so that you all can see which card I've chosen, so that you don't think that it's my own intuition that has pulled the card from the middle. We are putting our energy to the card as we shuffle them, and then and you're going to hold your hands up or send your energy or whatever you need to do to get that energy to me, and then I will draw the card and we will go from there. So let's do it. So I'm going to shuffle, shuffle. And I hope everybody's doing well. It's a gorgeous evening here in Washington, D.C. Cool, but not too cool. One of those nights that is both evokes kind of a melancholia as well as a hope. I love evenings. All right, so let us, is your energy there? Did you add it all in? Did you get what you needed to get to me in order for me to draw the card? All right, top card for all of us. And before I draw it, I invite you to really think about what the card feels like to you when you see it. What is your initial impression? What is your initial feeling when you see the word, when you see the message of the card, when you see the image on the card? And then we'll lay out the image for you to look at more closely. But what are those initial impressions? Because those are what you want to take with you into the meditation. What does it mean for you? What's going on in your life that the card might have something to say about? And what might our community, a greater community, our spiritual community, our human community do to act on some of the information from this card as well? Again, I've spoken so much. Here's our card for tonight. It's the top card, and it is New Moon and Promise. Lovely. So this is a card we have not had before. We also had our new moon, I guess it was last week, right? In the middle of last week. So timely. But again, it signals promise for us. It signals newness. It signals perhaps dedication and commitment, something that we might have made before this night, or that we might be making after tonight. So I'm going to pull the book out. We're going to put the card up where you can see it more clearly. Hold on just 1 second. See that new card and promise. So take a good look. What do you see? You see the couple staring into the sunset or sunrise. What is it? Probably sunset, I guess, as the new moon is revealing itself in the twilight sky, looking out onto the water, possibilities. It's quite beautiful. You find it in our book. So here we go. New moon and promise. Gazing at the sliver of the new moon, smiling down upon them, the couple embraces each other, welcoming the promise of their love. The fading sun drapes the clouds and waters with its tinge of luminescence as the crescent opens its arms to the nearby planet Venus, named after the Roman goddess of love. This is a time for manifestation, beginnings, and renewal, with the promise that our desires will come to fruition. Here, Grandmother Moon initiates another lunar cycle, moving from darkness to fullness and back again over approximately 1 month. Her promise of what is to come is embedded in the first glimmer of her light as she emerges from behind the curtain of darkness that had recently encompassed her. It is a promise that has been kept for as long as she has existed. This is the time to launch a project, a new relationship, or renew something that has been put aside for a later date. With your intention and willingness to allow a full cycle to complete itself, that which you desire will manifest. The seed of that idea is ready to emerge from the darkness of your subconscious into your full awareness. The next step is to put into action what is required to fully realize the idea. A promise has 2 meanings. It can be a commitment and a guarantee to yourself or someone else that a particular thing will happen, or it can imply that something specific is expected to happen. When your will is aligned with the will of Spirit and your intention is focused upon what you wish to have happen, there will be fulfillment. The promise is kept. Now, as I read this, and as I see who's online in real time here, at least on the Zoom meeting, I think it's something, the promise we've made to one another, that might be time to kick into higher gear, the promise that we made. So what do you think about that? In addition to that, there are things that I know that I have said I wanted to do for myself, that I said I would make happen during this time. And this card really reinforces that promise I made to myself, not to anyone else, to myself. Sometimes those promises, maybe at all times, those promises are the most important ones that we make and then hold on to. So what does that mean? This new moon, this manifestation, this promise of realization that is happening. It's happening almost in spite of itself, but it's also happening because of what we've intended prior to tonight, the work that we've done. It's coming. It's coming. It's here. So let's think about the card. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to put it up again for us to review as I bring us down into meditation more closely. And so get settled. Let's get settled. Let's relax. And let's move into meditation by becoming very aware of our breath. We breathe, I don't even know how many times a day, but it's something that naturally happens for us. Our instinct takes over. But let's, for these next few moments, become conscious of that breath as it enters into our bodies through our nose. Let's become conscious of it as it fills our body with nourishing oxygen. And let's become conscious of it as it leaves our body as we exhale. So we inhale, we hold, we exhale. Really sense it as it comes through. Is it cold? Is it warm as it goes through your nostrils? How does it feel as it fills your body? And how does it feel as you exhale? Again, awareness. Inhale and exhale. And as our breath returns to normal, you want it to be natural. You want it to be focused, but you also want to allow it to nourish you. Send it back to its place of keeping you alive and tethered to this material plane. And as that awareness begins to fade into the background, as it fades, so do we allow our sensation of our body to fade. Imagining it just like an animated movie, just dissolving into the ether around us, dissolving. We know our body is still there. Thanks to anchor breath, we can take a little journey. As we do, as our body fades in our imagination, what remains is an infinite universe, is an infinite sky. The body fades, but we find our presence in the universe within. Which is relaxing. Here as this presence, we feel completely free from all physical pain. We feel free of any angst or anguish or sense of trauma just for the next few moments. It's there for us should we choose to return to it after tonight's journey. For tonight, for these next few moments, let us be free of any discomfort, any pain, or anxiety, or depression. All we feel is an openness, is a vastness, is a warmth and comfort. It's really a feeling of quiet bliss. And here in this quiet bliss of this vast universe that is so deep within, yet expands so far out into the heavens, we allow ourselves to think of the card that we just viewed. The couple gazing out at the changing sky. The new moon peeking out, affirming their promise, their commitment, their dedication. As we think of the card, as we look at the card, we recall that promise that we made. Perhaps it was a couple of weeks ago at the autumnal equinox. Perhaps it was on a birthday of our own or of our loved ones. That promise that we made to ourselves when we said, at this time my intention is to shift, transition, evolve. This is not a time to berate or to criticize what we have or we haven't done. This is simply the time to recall it. And then also to think about all that we might have done consciously or unconsciously to help bring it to fruition. Perhaps being here on this evening at this meditation is one of the ways we are following through. We are moving one step closer to keeping that promise. But it is one that we have made. It's one that we made willingly. It's one that we're even excited about helping to manifest. But it is here as part of our essence and our presence as we float like nebula in this expansive, deep universe within. As we affirm that promise, that commitment, we reflect now on the progress that we've made toward our manifestation of that promise. We allow ourselves to bask in the success of whatever movement we've made to bringing that promise to fruition. And we allow ourselves the joy of feeling our success. Whatever gains we've made, however we see that we've moved forward to fulfilling that promise, is what we are celebrating at this moment. And we see that success as a result of our strength and our courage, our resourcefulness, and our enthusiasm. And in this space, in this deep within ourselves universe that also expands far and wide, we know that we have been guided and helped by the spirit world, both in our reach on earth and beyond, by the divine that is within us and all around us. We are strong, we are courage filled, we're brave, we're kind to ourselves. That is how we bring success and manifest that promise at this new moon. And as the tone fades, we remember the card one last time, and we take one more look at that card and look lovingly on that couple gazing out, realizing that that is simply us and our promise, us and our divine, us and our deep self, choosing to grow and evolve in this life, choosing to become more of who we are, choosing to see that we are always more than we thought that we were. And with a sense of peace and comfort, we float and float and float, and then choose to rejoin the material world And that can happen simply by becoming aware of the breath that has anchored us as it comes through our nose and into our body, as it fills our body, nourishes it, and then exhales all of our toxins. The awareness is enough to make our body begin to dissolve back into its physical self from the bottoms of our feet, our fingers and our hands and our face and head. All of it dissolves back in, filling out space in this world that we've been anchored to with our breath. The breath has energized us and relaxed us at the same time. It is with the energy of expectancy that we choose to return completely to our physical space. We do this by taking 3 breaths, the first 2 quickly as our eyes are closed, and exhale, inhale, and exhale. One more deep breath, inhale as we open our eyes and return to physical around us, knowing that the promise that we've made is coming to fulfillment just because we made it, because it has no choice, because we made it. It's with this comfort, this security, with this faith that we move forward this evening into the rest of our night, the rest of our week, the rest of our life. Having faith in those promises that we made long ago and that we continue to make in every moment that we're alive. So once again, it's a gorgeous evening. We've been so fortunate to have had such beautiful Wednesday evenings on our meditation nights. So I do hope you're able to enjoy it a little more, however you do. And if you are on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe, like this video, subscribe to our channel. Click that little notification bell so that you can receive notices of when we are doing our meditation. Maybe you forget that we're here every week, but if you click that notification button, you will get that notification that this is happening. So thank you so much for being here once again, and I look forward to so many more in the coming, in the next couple of weeks as we close out this year, and then again at the beginning of 2022. You can believe it. But again, with all of us together, we continue to grow and evolve and to rise. Have a wonderful evening. I love you all so much. So glad you're here, and so glad you join whenever you do. And I will look forward to more